Hello everyone, it is Rachel back again with an amazing video for you guys. This time it's all about making the classic birth stat elephants. These guys are super popular on Pinterest and things like that for little family members or friends who have babies. Everyone loves these little elephants where you can put all the little birth stats on the ears. So today I'm going to be walking you through a Design Space tutorial on how to create these, how to size them, and how to apply them on. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about supplies before we jump into Design Space. We have the mini Easy Press here. I highly recommend this size of Easy Press for the project that we're doing today. We also have a Teflon sheet that you may or may not need. Just depends on your preference here. We have a mini Easy Press mat. We also have some assorted colors of HTV. It just depends on your friend, whether they're having a boy or a girl. Maybe you want to have it match their nursery theme, things like that. And then guys, we have our little elephant here. Now these brands, this is Bedtime Originals, and this is Humphrey, so he is like the gray one. There's also a pink one that has a blue bow that you can make for little girls, or you, of course, like we're doing today, you can use the gray one for little girls. So just depending on what you want, these are on Amazon. I will link them down below so you guys can buy them. But other than that, guys, you really don't need much. Make sure you have a measuring tape because you do want to be able to size these perfectly in Design Space. The biggest worry that we have is that you guys do not size things correctly. So make sure that you're sizing it correctly so that you will have project success with this today. But other than that, guys, it's going to be a super fun tutorial, so let's go ahead and jump into Design Space. All right, everybody, now we are in Design Space here, and you can see our two little mock-ups that we've created. Are these not adorable? As you can probably tell by the time that they were born and the date, these are little twins. These are Courtney's cousins, little babies, and Courtney created these in Design Space and wanted an amazing video for you guys. So we thought we would make one for you all and then have a great little keepsake for Courtney's family as well. So it's a win-win for us. So we have two here, and I just want to lay out the fonts that we're going to be using today. So grab a pen and paper if you're ready to write these down. We are using extra guac. You guys know this is one of the newer ones we have for Makers Gonna Learn. It is one of our favorites as well, and that is for all of the small letters and numbers. So all of the ones on the right are extra guac. And then we have Grecian Dreamer for our large initials here. So the O and the S are used with Grecian Dreamer. We also have little hearts in between the dates here. And these are just hearts from Design Space, super easy. And then we also brought in a little cut file that I'll show you guys how we manipulated to get our little feet here. And I think these are just like the icing on the cake to make this perfect. So we absolutely love the way this turned out. So let's go ahead and get designing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way, guys. We're going to bring in our Best Baby Ever cut file and our little feet here, and we are just going to grab our little feet from here. So all you have to do, you can see over in the layers panel, there are some layers selected here, and they're not like grouped together in a way where we have to contour or anything like that, so that's super easy. So we're just going to click one layer at a time and erase what we don't want, and now we're left with our little feet. Which is great. So this is what we need. We want our little feet. So we're just going to drag our little feet over here. And now, guys, we're going to duplicate these. And we're going to contour one out of each. So the reason why we're doing this is because we want them to be angled just a little bit. And these guys are not angled for us. So we're going to go through here and contour these out so we have separate feet to be able to move them exactly where we want them to be. So just going to hide all these little toes here. Hide the base of this foot. And now you can see we have our own little feet to be able to kind of move around and, you know, rotate and do whatever we want with. So these are going to be really cute to work with. So I'm just going to set these over to the side. And now let's go ahead and get the big one out of the way. So we're going to be using Grecian Dreamer here. And we're just going to type out an S. And now we're going to go up to the fonts, go to System Fonts. You guys know all the fonts that you download from Design Space, from Makers Gonna Learn will come into Design Space in your System Fonts. So now we're going to search for Grecian Dreamer here. And I think we want the uppercase S, so now we're going to go to another text box here and get the big S. And here is what it looks like. And we're going to do a little bit of stretching with this letter. So we're going to unlock it here. And we're going to make it a lot bigger, a lot wider. And you can see this particular font actually looks good when it is stretched like this. Some fonts do not take that stretching very well, but this one is taking it like a champ. So once you have the S all good to go, it does not have to be perfect yet. You can continue to tweak around that if you want to. We're going to go to another text box and we're going to go and move our Grecian Dreamer text to our extra guac. And now once you have extra guac, we're going to get a text box here and we're going to type out Sophia. And I'm going to get a separate text box. You guys know how I am. And type out Lynn. And before I size them or anything, I'm going to select them both and make them bigger for us. And we're going to bring them in over here. And now we're going to be aligning these on top of each other. So it's going to be a little bit easier to do if we have them separate colors. So now I'm going to take this guy and put him down, put Lynn under Sophia. And we can eyeball this and hope that it's correct. Or we can select both layers, go to align, and align center horizontally. And you can see that Lynn just shifted over to the left a little bit. And now we know that it is perfect. So now we're going to take these two and we're going to attach them because we know that they're even and we know we like where they are going here. And we're going to make it just a little bit smaller here. And that looks really good. And we know that this HTV is going to be white, so we're just going to make that white there. And now we can move on to our stats, our little birth stats here. So this is going to be the date, how much they weigh, how long they are, and the time that they were born. So we're just going to work row by row. We're not going to, overwhelm ourselves in any way or anything like that. So we're just going to start off with the date. So it's January 2nd of 2020. So we're going to go up here and we have extra guac selected. 01, 02, 20. And I did all of these in one text box, adding a space in between. So once you have that there, you can go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. And now we're going to go to the shapes and we're going to get us a heart down here. And we're going to make this heart really small. We're going to place it right in here. And it actually fits pretty well in between here. And now instead of going through all that and making us another heart, we're just going to go over there and duplicate it. And duplicate it once more. And we'll put this over on the side, and that is going to be if you want to make any more. If you don't want to make any more, feel free not to duplicate that heart, but just for the sake of maybe if you're going to be making more than one, keep a heart the same size for your next project over to the side. And now I'm going to select all of these here, go to align, and I'm going to align center vertically. And you can see those just came up a bit, but that is perfect. And now we're going to take it, and we're going to attach it together. And we're going to go up here and change the material color. And now we're just going to place this right where we want it. And we're just going to put it right over there. Now we can change the size of this later, of course. We don't have to get super stressed about that. And now we're going to go back to the text box, working our way down. And all we're going to type is the number 4. And this is such a cute 4. I love the letters in this extra guac. We're just going to make that a bit larger here. And I know that we have a sample that we are referencing, but guys, feel free to make this, however you want to. You don't have to do the exact same things we want to. We're just here to give you guys the techniques and the tips to be able to do this to the best of your ability. And what you do with all those tips and tricks is totally up to you. Make it as creative as you want. And now that we have that 4, we're going to go right back to our text and write out pounds. And here's an awesome little trick here. If you hold down the shift key and then you rotate, it will rotate like at angles. So you're not just randomly rotating and hoping that it's straight. It will rotate it completely straight for you. So we're wanting pounds and 4 to be around the same, but we don't want pounds to be that big. So we're going to go ahead and unlock that and make it just a little bit smaller here. And once we have it like that, we can select all of this. And we're going to center vertically again. And as you can see, it just moved just a little bit. And now again, we're going to take it, attach it, and change its color. Now the reason we're not welding any of this is because once you're in this kind of stage, you're just putting things together and hoping that it looks good. You don't want to weld anything because you cannot undo a weld. So you want to make sure that you have that room to be able to adjust these things if needed. So now we're going to go again. And now is where you type in your ounces. And little Sophie Lynn was 0 ounces, but we still have the room there for it. So we're going to add 0 ounces. And that line space is a hair tricky to me. So I'm actually going to go through here and take out 0 and add me another 0. So I'm going to do a different text box for 0 and put it a little bit closer than it had it. Now we could have just simply ungrouped them and done the line spacing tool, letter spacing tool, excuse me, and you can totally do that if you want to. There's a ton of different ways to do all of these awesome things in Design Space, so just do whichever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to attach them, change their color, then place it right up where we want it. Do a little bit of tweaking here. And now we're going to do our inches. So she was 16 inches. So I'm going to type out 16 inches. What a cute inch mark on this font too. Look how cute that is. We're going to change their color here. Place it right where we want it. And now we're going to do our time. It was 7:53 a.m. So we're going to type out 7:53 a.m. And this time I am going to do that ungroup here and take these two and use my arrow keys to pull it in a bit. Now I'm going to take those and attach them back together. Change that color just like we have been and pull it up where we want him. Now he's a bit big, so we're just going to size him back how we want it. Now, guys, is the time where you are going to go through there and make all of this fit as you want it. So I want this to be pretty even with that. That means this ounces needs to be a bit bigger for us here. So I'm going to click on those ounces, unlock him, make him a hair bigger. Perfect. Now I'm going to work on my 16 here. I'm going to unlock him, make him a bit bigger, maybe a hair skinnier. He looks good. 7:53 a.m. needs to be even. And once you have this the way that you like it, feel free to attach in rows and go through and align all that just to make it perfect. A ton of people do that, and it's a really great practice to get into. And ours is pretty much perfect as well. So we're just going to go up here and bring in our little baby feet here. And now you guys can rotate these however you want to, just to make them how you want. And once you like their placement, we're going to attach these, of course, and then go through here and change the color. And these are supposed to be over a bit, you know, down and to the left. So you can just put those right wherever you want to. And now, guys, is the most important part, which is to make sure that there are no other tweaks you want. Make sure that you like the way everything is even in your mind. Then you're going to select the entire thing and attach it all together. Same with Sophia and our larger initial here, the name and your initial. If you like all of this together, we're going to go through and attach it. And now, guys, you have to size it to your elephant. So go over there and measure your little elephant ears. I've got ours right here. And it seems like the inside of our elephant ears, it needs to be about 2 1/4 wide, and it can be about 3 1/2 long. So just knowing that, we're going to go through here and let's see this other one right here. This finished one is 3.819 wide, which is perfect. So we'll go ahead and select this and go up to width and do 2.25, and that ends up being a great size. So we're going to do the same with this guy here. We're going to make the width 2.25, and our height is 3.97, which that's pushing it a little bit, but I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, and that should be good. I would say about 3 1/2. So let's go ahead and make it just a little bit bigger. And that looks good. So Once you have this exactly how you want it, make sure it's sized to your little elephant ears. You can go ahead and cut these out. Now, of course, this pretty coral color is going to cut on one mat, and then our Sophia Lynn here is going to cut out on its own mat with a different color. So once you have all of that done and cut out, we can just go ahead and get to placing it. Just make sure that you mirror all of these and you select the pressure that you want and everything like that. And whatever you're not cutting, like you have your little heart here, what you can do is you can select everything that you're not cutting right now, group it all, and then go into Design Space and hide it. That way you are not having a ton of other mats on things that you're not cutting. Now you can just click Make It. And you can see our little Sophia Lynn here is on a mat. Make sure you mirror that. And then here's our other stuff. And if you want to scoot that over to give enough breathing, weeding room, that's fine. Then you can hit continue. Just make sure that you mirror those. And we're going to be using regular everyday iron-on today. So we're just going to select that as our material. We're going to leave that on default pressure, and we're just going to go ahead and cut both of those out. And we have these all cut and ready to be weeded. And now, guys, while you're weeding is a great time to preheat your Easy Press. So we're going to set that on the second heat setting of our mini Easy Press and let that be heating up as we weed. We're just going to go in here with our Cricut weeding tools and carefully weed this up. These are very, very small letters and numbers. So even though that we are used to kind of rushing while we weed HTV, it's very important to make sure that these have cut through really, really well for us. So go slow, pay attention, make sure you're not pulling anything up that you need, especially these little dots on our numbers and things like that. It's so easy to pull up in a flash and not even know it. So just make sure you're paying attention there with how you're weeding. And guys, this is going to be a job that is perfect for a pen tool. So we're going to get in here and I'll get you guys a little bit closer so you can see what I mean. In between these little tiny letters is going to be perfect for a pen tool to pull out. These would be so much harder with a Cricut tool, but the pen tool makes easy work of it. And our Easy Press is preheated, as you can hear, and we're just going to go in here gently and get all the insides of these little letters and numbers here, and this cut wonderfully as well. These are perfect for any kind of baby gift. Now, of course, we wouldn't recommend these for a baby shower because you don't know the birth stats yet. So just make sure it is after the birth. They're super fun to make though. It's a great way to hone in all of your Design Space skills as well if you're a little bit skittish about Design Space and things like that, working with multiple fonts and using the align tool so much, and duplicating and hiding and contouring, all that type of stuff really gets you guys to practice in Design Space, and that's a really great thing to do. So work with fonts as much as you can, work with things you don't feel like you're good at as much as you can. That's what's going to really make the difference between being a beginner and being a pro. So just weed all that out. And now we can just remove these from the mat, and I'm going to trim off some of the excess here. This does not need to be this big, so here's our little name here. We can just cut this off, and there's our name. And then we want these guys separate as well. So I'm going to cut off the bottom here, and then cut these in half. And then now we can go ahead and unwrap our elephant and get him ready to go. And just showing you guys, this is our finished elephant as well. He is so cute. You can see his little stats over here. And we have a layered HTV over here with the initial and then the name. So this is what the other one is going to look like, just with a different color. So this is really cute. And then here is how our brand new ones come, all wrapped up in a little bag here. I'm just going to open him up, pull him out of his little prison bag, and here he is. And his ears were nice and folded back, so those, of course, don't get really crinkled. And I've never had any bad crinklage because of this brand before. We have several of these. We have pink ones, we have these gray ones, and we have several of each. So here's what he looks like right out of the bag. He's really cute. I think he was only like $9 on Amazon, guys. He is a really good deal for a little keepsake that's going to mean a lot to your friend or family member. So now we can just go ahead and get to positioning these guys. So we're just going to do the stats first, because a lot of the times that is the most intimidating for people, and you just need to do that first because it's really not that bad. So as you can see, you can really mess up his fur here, and we want to go ahead and push all the fur to one side on his little ear. Make sure we like where it's at, and then you can just take your little stats here. And if you want to cut around it, I advise to do that now. It'll help fit his ear better. So what I mean by that is you can see there's little corners on this transfer tape, and it might help us to go ahead and round these off since his little ears are round, at least on the corners that we're having to press onto him here. So let's try and place him. Oh, and see, that's much, much better. So you can go ahead and place him right where you want to. And take your time. This might take a couple of times of peeling up and laying down to make sure you like the placement. But once you do like the placement, we're going to go in here with our easy press mat and lay it down. We're just going to lay his little ear down just like that. And press him down firmly so it's kind of like a flat surface here. And guys, right now is when you can use this Teflon sheet. If you want to get in here, you can use it. We have used it without it, and it worked just fine. So we're just going to continue with that. So we have our baby easy press, and we're just going to hold it at the top here. And these are made to move around, but with this guy, we want to make sure we're at least pressing a few seconds on each design, because since these are such small letters and numbers, it's so easy to get these guys to crinkle up on us as we're heating, and we do not want that. So make sure that you are holding them in a spot for just a few seconds, just to really make sure those letters and numbers are adhered down. Now we're going to move down here to our little feet. We can get that bottom of that easy press in there. Hold it down, and I'm seeing bubbles, guys, which you know is a great sign. Just keep moving this guy around here. Keep checking your design as well. You know, you really want to be careful. And I already see over here our 7, where he's dipped kind of down in our ear. He's wanting to do that crinkly thing on us, so we just got to be mindful of that there. And now you can start peeling up. From the bottom is fine, top is fine. Just go very slow. And if you see anything wanting to peel up, lay your transfer sheet back down. But he did great. Looky there, guys. Look how cute he turned out. Love it. So now, guys, we're just going to switch ears. Switch right over. Make sure you lay all his fur out. Now we're going to lay down our S here. And this is something you guys want to think about too. When you're looking at the elephant, do you want the S to be straight, or do you want the S to be going with the curve of the elephant? So that's personal preference. For me, I think it looks more natural if the S is curving to the elephant instead of being stick straight. I think it's just one of those cute, whimsical things that is just going to be happening when you have something like this. So I'm just going to let him curve towards the elephant like that. Lay him down good, and then come in here with your easy press. Just make sure you heat it all. Get all the little nooks and crannies in here. I'm already starting to see bubbles, so this is a really good sign, guys. Just make sure you're getting up, especially next to his little cheek over here, his little face. You want to make sure that you're adhering all that down. That's why this baby is so important, guys. This little tiny easy press is just about the only easy press that could do this as easily as it is. We're just going to peel this up now. And don't throw this away, guys, because we'll need this in just a second. And while that is still warm, you can open up this little ear, move the fur again, and add in your little name. Once you've added that name, go ahead and lay this transfer sheet back down. Okay. Come back in with your easy press and heat it. You don't want any of that naked HTV to be touching the heat plate, so make sure you keep that little transfer sheet from your large S. Now you can peel that first part up and peel that part up, and there you have it, guys. There is one little ear right there, and here's the other. Super cute. Here are both of our little elephants, guys, and of course this, just like with anything else, the more that you do it, the more practice you get and the better you get at it. But these look so cute. I cannot wait for Courtney to give them to her family. I know that they will love them. Her little cousin is going to be all about them, and I'm sure her little babies are going to love them when they get older too. There you have it, guys, a super fun tutorial on this amazing classic baby stats elephant. I loved being able to create these for you guys, and I hope that you all have the confidence to create these for any member of your family or any friend that you have that has a little baby. They are so fun. They make the best little keepsakes, and the best part, guys, you can use scraps of vinyl for these. So you can take advantage of your scrap bins and make these amazing. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, guys, give us a like and leave us a comment down below if you have any questions. Click the very first link in the description below to learn more about our amazing die cutting community. And as always, guys, have an amazing day. Bye.